Hello! It has obviously been a while since my last video. I don't even know when I filmed my last vlog. A bunch of stuff is happening. My pregnancy, well, some things have changed in my pregnancy, and it's just been like a crazy few weeks. There is a complication that has come up in my pregnancy, but I'm being monitored a lot. So I'm in like the best hands, the best care with my doctor. I'm really glad that I waited to film this video because when we first got like the news or whatever, it was, I don't know, it was like really hard to process, but I feel just so much better about things. Even after like letting it marinate for just a couple of days, I have just come to terms with everything and I feel good. Right now I'm getting ready to go to the hospital, so I don't have time to give you the full details, but I promise that I will talk about it in this video. I want to be very clear about what's happening. I don't want to be like cryptic or anything like that. I don't know, I just want to be like honest about what's going on. I'm sure there are some people watching who have gone through something similar, or in general just had, you know, unexpected things come up in their pregnancy that they have to work through. I think for everyone, there's probably at least like something unexpected that happens, whether it's during your pregnancy or during the actual birth, you know? It's like things just don't always go as planned. And I'm so out of breath all the time. So like I said, I'm getting ready to go to the hospital. I've been spending so much time there between my doctor's office and the hospital. I'm there like 3 days a week. So I basically have a scan and an ultrasound with my doctor every week. And then I have 2 non-stress tests at the hospital. One of the most important things I've found that I have to do before I go to these tests is I need to make myself something substantial to eat, because if I don't, I get really, really hungry. Yeah, I've basically just been making either a protein shake or I'll pack kind of like a mini lunch for myself. Today I'm gonna make a shake. I'm gonna show you guys what I put in it. Let's get started. So once again, I'm going to be using Ritual's Essential Protein, and today's video is sponsored by Ritual. This is the daily shake for pregnancy and postpartum. I've talked about this now so many times, and I've been drinking their shakes throughout my entire pregnancy. They also make a whole line of multivitamins. This is my vitamin, the Essential for women. It's the prenatal vitamin. You can see I have just a couple left. I have a new bottle in my pantry. And then I recently got the Essential for men for Nick so that he could try them as well. I did freeze a banana last night. And I also froze, this is the first time I'm trying this, but I froze some yogurt because our ice machine broke suddenly. So I thought, if I don't have ice, I can try to freeze some of the other ingredients so it's still nice and cold. Also going to use a little bit of peanut butter, and randomly I might put one of these brownies in there. This smoothie in my mind is loosely based on this protein smoothie that they used to have at Jamba Juice. I don't know if they still have it because I haven't been there in so long, but it was so good. It was just like a really creamy peanut butter chocolate smoothie. All right, so into my blender, I'm going to put my frozen banana. Probably should have cut that in half. I'm going to do a scoop of my protein powder. So this is 20 grams of protein, maybe a little bit more because mine was higher than the scoop, but that's fine. I saw on Instagram that you could take an ice cream scooper and like scoop out like dollops of yogurt and freeze them and then throw them into your smoothie. I obviously didn't have the proper tool to do this, so I tried to use a spoon, but like whatever, it's fine. So that's just a big chunk of frozen Greek yogurt. All right, there's my peanut butter. There's my little brownie. And then I'm going to add some milk and blend it up. Please work. Little taste test. It's really, really good. So, it's actually so good. I'm gonna write out a proper recipe in the description box if you wanna try this. That's like easier to follow. The only thing I will say, if you freeze a banana or if you freeze yogurt and throw it into your smoothie, cut the banana into pieces so that it blends easier. It did eventually blend up, but I had to like use this Vitamix tool So I'm going to throw this in the refrigerator and I'll grab it on my way out the door. And it's just an easy thing for me to drink on the way to my appointment. Each scoop of this protein powder has 20 grams of protein. It also has all the complete amino acids and it is allergen free. And I really personally trust Ritual products. I feel like all the ingredients are not only clean, but they are actually traceable. So this has been one of my go-to products in pregnancy. If you guys wanna try it out, you can go to ritual.com/blitz20 and use my code blitz20 for 20% off your first month, whether you choose to try their protein or their multivitamins. And they do have something for different age groups and different like stages of life. So I'm going to pop this in the fridge. Also, my neighbors brought over this eggplant pasta last night for me and Nick. It's bucatini, which is one of my favorites. How nice was that? So freaking sweet. Unfortunately, Nick is not here to enjoy the pasta. He is on a trip right now, but my friend is staying with me every night. So I'm going to go finish getting ready. I do have a little bit of extra time, like more than I thought I would. I might throw a recipe together in a crock pot for later tonight, and that will be perfect for dinner. I also don't know if I'm going to take my camera and film at the hospital, but I did record a couple days ago. So if I don't film today, I will include that footage here so you guys can kind of see what the test is like. I am now at the hospital getting my NST, the non-stress test, and basically they just hook you up to a couple of different monitors and you sit there for an hour, and then my doctor will review the footage from the monitors and hopefully everything's fine, and then I can leave. Basically it looks like this, and they're attached to a screen, and that's it. I guess this is a preview of what labor will be like. It's kind of boring. I don't really have anything to do, but I have a water, I brought a book, and I do think that I can turn the TV on if I need to. I'll keep you guys posted. Okay, hello again. I'm back to finish filming this video and give you like all the details of what's going on in my pregnancy. It's 2 days after I started filming this video. I don't know what else to say except going to the hospital, going to the doctors all the time. It's really exhausting, and it takes up just so much of my time. Usually when I come home, I'm really tired and just ready to like eat and go to sleep. That being said, this entire experience has been like my best experience ever with hospitals. All the nurses in labor and delivery are so incredibly nice. They have been absolutely amazing. In fact, the hospital where I've been getting the tests is not the hospital that I was planning to deliver our baby at, but now that I have just kind of developed a rapport with the nurses and the staff there, I think I'm probably going to end up delivering there if I can. Basically, this is what is going on. I don't know exactly how long ago it was. I think 3 weeks or 3.5 weeks ago. I went in for my doctor's appointment, which was just going to be like an ultrasound. I should also mention that the doctor I am with, my obstetrician, is not just a normal obstetrician. He is a perinatologist or a fetal and maternal medicine doctor. So he's a high-risk doctor. He primarily oversees high-risk pregnancies, but he will take patients on a case-by-case basis, and he accepted my case because I had developed hypothyroidism in my first trimester. I had had those 2 previous miscarriages, and yeah, luckily he accepted my case. If you have ever been pregnant before, you've probably seen a perinatologist around like your 20-week scan, because usually that scan is like more advanced. So usually you see a doctor who specializes in those scans. He is the doctor that does that type of scan, but he's also the doctor that I've been seeing since like, I don't know, 14 weeks. I'm super glad and grateful that I was able to switch to him from my previous obstetrician, because there have been actually multiple things that have come up in this pregnancy. The only one I've talked about so far is hypothyroidism, but I did have a situation at, I think like 22 weeks where I started having crazy contractions, and I had to go to the hospital. It's not even like worth going into that because it would take me a really long time to explain it. It was like kind of a weird, rare occurrence. But I did have to take medication to stop the contractions. It was not preterm labor, so I wasn't going into like early labor or anything like that. The baby actually wasn't at risk at all. They were just incredibly painful. And then that happened again at like 24 weeks. So my doctor was able to help me through all of that. And I never talked about those moments because it wasn't really that like traumatic for me. Throughout the whole thing, I didn't feel scared both of those times. And it was really because of my doctor. He really just made me feel at peace. He made me feel relaxed. And I don't know, I've been, generally speaking, very relaxed during this pregnancy. Since 24 weeks, things have gone pretty smoothly, with the exception of like normal, you know, pregnancy side effects and symptoms. Flash forward to 3 weeks ago, I had like a normal routine scan with my doctor. I can't even remember, I think it was 29 weeks. So I guess it was, yeah, I'm about to be 34 weeks. So it was a little bit over 4 weeks ago. And when he did my growth scan, he told me that the baby was not growing like as quickly as she should be. Obviously that's, you know, a little bit hard to hear, but he's a very straightforward doctor. He's not even like overly reassuring. He's very blunt. So if something is wrong, he will tell you like something is wrong. And in fact, he did tell me, I don't want to tell you that everything's okay because it's not, but you're going to be fine and your baby's going to be fine. We're going to monitor you through the end and see how this progresses. He basically told me that there was an issue with my placenta, and if you don't know what that is, it's basically an entire new organ that your body forms when you're pregnant, and that is what delivers nutrients to your baby. So at the time, he checked all the other like vitals and stuff for my baby. He checked like blood flow to the brain. He checked all of her organs. He checked like the size of her limbs and whatnot. And he concluded that I basically needed to start coming in every week for a growth scan so we could track her growth and see if it was increasing or decreasing. And if it was decreasing, then we could figure out what we needed to do. So I did that. I came in for my follow-up appointment a week later, and the baby was still just not really growing as quickly as she should be. And basically the diagnosis was intrauterine growth restriction. There's multiple reasons that this can happen. One type is called symmetric intrauterine growth restriction, and that's where like the abdomen is small and all of the body parts are similarly small. You know, they'll give you like a percentile that your baby is in, and our baby is very, very small. Luckily, I have the better type, which is asymmetric intrauterine growth restriction, and that means that her abdomen is small, but like her brain is normal and all of her other limbs and organs are normal. So basically, like nutrients are still getting to her and they're being allocated to like all of her important body parts, but she's just very small. I want to kind of jump back to the original scan where we found out that she was tiny and that she had growth restriction. That was a pretty hard day for me because, I mean, I don't know, this has been such a journey, pregnancy in general, and the whole fertility journey has been a process for me. So of course I want everything to be okay. It obviously is hard to hear that something is wrong or something is not ideal in your pregnancy, but yeah, I don't know, I do trust my doctor so much. So when I left that first appointment, I had a lot of emotions. I was emotional because I wanted her to be okay, and I also felt emotional because my doctor basically told me that I would likely have to be induced early, and I was really hoping to have a natural birth with like no medications, and that plan is kind of, for the most part, out the window. I mean, there's a very slight chance that could happen if I go into natural labor early, like way early, but I'm probably going to have to be induced. So I was processing the fact that something wasn't going right, and I was processing the fact that my ideal birth plan would probably not come to fruition. Even though I told myself that I was going to go with the flow, whatever happened was fine as far as like a birth plan goes, I still actually felt kind of devastated that day. And as days continued, I felt less and less upset about it. Ultimately, I have like time to mentally prepare and just like adjust my expectations. So since that initial appointment, I've had growth scans with my doctor every week. He's also done something called, I think it's like a well-being exam for the fetus. That could be the wrong terminology, but he uses essentially both of those tools to make sure that the baby is doing okay otherwise. Like, obviously she's small and we know that. You know, technology like this didn't exist many years ago, so there could very well be a genetic component. I mean, my mom has told me that I was small. I was just over 6 pounds when I was born, which is on the smaller side of, I think, normal. And my sister was also a little bit over 6 pounds. So we were both fairly small babies. And it could just be that is, you know, in our like biological nature. Or it could be that my mom had a similar issue with, you know, the placenta or whatnot. But back then, you didn't have access to the same type of medical care. And my mom has told me that she didn't even have an ultrasound in one of her pregnancies, which is not the world that we live in today. So yeah, I mean, it's kind of one of those things with some unknowns, and it just needs to be monitored. At the very least, you know, my baby is moving all the time, like 24/7, she's moving. So there's definitely like no fear on that level. I've gotten to the point where I'm supposed to be doing like kick counts every day to make sure that the baby is moving, and I can sit down and do my kick count in like 5 minutes because she's just so active. So that's really reassuring. And my doctor has basically said that an active baby is a sign of a healthy baby. And yeah, all of the other signs seem to be looking good. There are still some uncertainties. You know, if I go in for a scan or an NST and it doesn't go great, there is a chance that I'll have to deliver the baby like way sooner than I expected to. Right now, like I said, I'm about to be 34 weeks, and technically like full term is 40 weeks, but anytime after 38 weeks I think is like acceptable to term. And we're hoping that she can stay in there until 38 weeks, because the longer that she's inside of me, the more developed she's gonna be when she comes out. But if, you know, she like stops growing, my doctor said that they're gonna need to like get her out sooner. I don't know if anyone else watching this has had an experience with growth restriction or like placenta insufficiency or placenta problems before, but if you did and you want to share your experiences, it would be really helpful. You can leave those in the comment section, or even if you just, I don't know, had something like unexpected come up and it turned out to be a positive outcome, please leave your experiences below. I do feel like my baby is okay. Like intuitively I feel like she's okay. And in previous pregnancies, I didn't have that same intuitive feeling. I am staying positive. I'm staying as stress-free as I possibly can, because I don't, you know, stress affects your baby too. You guys are like sharing a body, and I don't want to be stressed out and make her feel stressed out. I just want to try to go through the rest of this pregnancy very calmly. I do feel a bit nervous for birth. I think I felt that way. I think I would have felt that way anyways, just because I've never experienced it before, but I feel a bit more nervous now, knowing that I'll probably have to take medications that I was hoping not to take, including Pitocin, which induces like contractions and labor, and I'll probably have to get an epidural if I take Pitocin, or I don't know. I wasn't looking forward to that either. I was hoping that I would be able to not get an epidural. So those things definitely make me a little bit frightened. It's not how I envisioned giving birth, but I don't know, is birth ever how you envision it? Has anyone had a birth that went exactly as they planned, If you have, don't answer that. So hopefully that explains what's going on. I feel like I just talked way too much, as I always do. It is about 7:30 right now, and my friend is coming over. I had mentioned that Nick was on a trip. He's like writing on a music trip, but he's gonna be back tomorrow, and my friend Jess has been staying with me every night. She actually has a little baby as well. He's so cute, and I think he's 9 months old now. So it's just so generous of her to like leave her baby to come stay with me at nighttime. She's been so amazing. She's been great company. I mean, she's been like cleaning up my kitchen, bringing me snacks. I just feel so grateful for everyone in my life right now and everything in my life right now. And I'm making dinner for us. So I'm gonna make macaroni and cheese, a salad. I already made a fruit salad. It's chilling in the fridge. And I'm gonna make like some garlic bread. I'm still in full swing on the cooking show. That has definitely been the best tool for me to just take my mind off of like negative thoughts that pop up and whatever. And at my doctor's appointment 2 days ago, I did put a huge batch of chicken and rice soup in the crock pot, and I've been eating it every day since. I've been eating the leftovers. I'm gonna heat up a big bowl of that for Nick when he gets home. I'll link that in the description box below, even though I didn't show it. I think I have some video footage though, so I will show you guys. Okay, thank you guys all for watching. Thank you for being here. I will see you guys very soon. I mean, I might not see you guys very soon because it really depends what happens in my pregnancy, but I'm gonna try to do some updates if I can. Please keep me in your thoughts, keep my baby in your thoughts, and I'll talk to you when I can. Okay, I know I said I was done filming, but I wanted to show you guys a little bump update because I feel like I haven't done hardly any of them all pregnancy. This is the bump at 34 weeks. I'm now a little bit past 34 weeks. I feel like I look kind of the same as I did from the front, but then obviously from the side I'm looking pretty pregnant. I have gained 35 pounds, so I've gained a sufficient amount of weight through pregnancy, and yeah, I mean, my clothes, none of my clothes really fit anymore except a couple things. When I was going through this footage, editing everything, there were so many like pieces of information I wanted to add or things that I felt like I forgot to say, and instead of just over-analyzing everything, I'm going to go ahead and post this video. But you know, it can be hard to explain in-depth medical things to an audience on YouTube without having things misconstrued. So I do want to like reiterate that I'm okay and our baby is doing okay. You know, obviously this is like a concern that needs to be taken seriously, but I have no doubt that I'm going to be able to deliver a healthy baby. And my doctor has assured me that as long as we're monitoring everything, then the outcome should be really positive. He's also told me that there's really nothing I could have done to prevent this. Like I said, there's a lot of different reasons for growth restriction. Sometimes the placenta just doesn't develop correctly or it gets damaged, blah, 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 blah. I'm just gonna leave it at that. I mean, I know there's people online watching this who want bad things to happen to me and my baby, so that's also a reason why it's kind of hard to share when something isn't going exactly as planned. But I am, again, staying positive and just putting full trust in my doctor, and I really feel like everything's going to be all right. I have been told that even small babies tend to do really well once they are born and they put on weight quickly for the most part. Thank you again for putting up with my long speech. I hope you guys are all having a good day, and I'll talk to you when I talk to you.